Hi YouTube, today is January 1st, 2015, and I'm going to bring you an unedited version of the episode. From here on out, no edits. I've re-recorded my video about 70 times, and every time I'm just not happy with it, so you know what? I am just going to record, and I'm going to just give you what I think, and just take it. So, the first thing I want to talk about is my portfolio. My portfolio is not doing so hot. We're down, well, the bleeding has stopped, fortunately, and we're down about 0.07 BTC. On USD levels, we're down to like 9,600, so we are definitely at a slump. If we look at the recent purchases I've made, I reinvested into Binance. I've been talking about Binance, so I reinvested. I also reinvested back into Icon, and here it is on the bottom, 50 more shares of Icon, and I bought in roughly about 50 shares of Binance. And I'm just going to ride Binance up when BTC upswing. So that's my hope. So that's my portfolio. On the other aspect that I've been looking into is on episode 4, I was talking about how token prices shouldn't matter. Token prices are only there just to help out with the company itself, right? So, for example, Lumens is the example I gave. Lumens is worth 60 cents, and they're like, market cap is like absolutely ridiculous. It's at $10 billion. The company's not worth $10 billion. This is overvalued. Everything in here is overvalued. That's the crazy part. Everything in here is overvalued. $4 billion in Tron for a product that doesn't even fucking work, and then they plagiarize the whole thing. They don't even have anything there. We invested $4 billion into a company, and this is definitely money being put into cryptocurrency is not legitimate. Now, I am keeping my cryptocurrency. I am planning on staying in the cryptocurrency market, but I want to pick out my winners. I want to do my research. I want to make sure I win. And right now, I have my eggs in Icon, Binance, Neo, Ethereum, and Ryblox. And those are the ones I'm really rooting for. IOTA's out there, but there's a lot of companies that are trying to do the same thing with IOTA. And it's already at $9 billion, and it's not worth $9 billion. So right now, I feel like the only platforms that I could invest into are the big time platforms: Ethereum, Neo, and Icon. IOTA's been out there, and it has a lot of partnerships, but nothing really has been built on top of IOTA, and we really haven't seen any news as of late. Blockchain and everything, there's a lot of great things about it, but just very skeptical at this time about my situation in the cryptocurrency market space. So that's why I made some trades. So let's go ahead and take a look at order history. And under order history, you can see the Ripple I sold off, the Request Network I sold off, the Link I sold off, and bought back into BNB and ICX. I bought back into a lot of BNB actually. I like BNB because it just doesn't go down. It's just there, and it's moves up with BTC, and I've been talking about it, so I'm leaving it there. Now, I just talked about overvaluation of all the cryptocurrency market space. I want to just talk about tokens. And the tokens is what you're buying, right? I bought myself 1.15 tokens of BNB, right? And we buy it because we feel like this is what it is worth. I buy it because I feel like this is a safe haven. BNB is a safe haven. And one example is a private blockchain. Flurry is a private blockchain, and a friend of mine, John, he told me about it, and it's about databases and blockchains, and they're using the database or the blockchain technology to show some really high throughput numbers, and that's what they're all about. And this is the price. So you get to do 100,000 1 KB requests and do queries. 100 simultaneous connections, yada yada yada, right? And it's free. Okay, I get 100,000 tokens, but it has a finite value of what it could buy me. I wish Lumens did the same thing, where it didn't have to be valued in the market space. I guess as a currency it needs to. So it needs to be in the market so people could buy, and it could be dynamic, just like the USD dollar. But it doesn't account for how much the company is actually worth. So that's the biggest, like, I don't know how to figure that component out. Yeah, I just want to leave it there. So going back to this flurry, token prices are static. However, if it's on the marketplace, it will change, and it just seems ridiculous, and everything becomes overvalued. One thing that I want to cover real quick is about dApps, and Ethereum has a dApp called Civic, and it's worth God knows how much, $300 million. It's not worth $300 million. Civic, the company itself, is not worth $300 million, right? I mean, let's say 80% of people bought shares into Civic. It's not worth that much. Think of all the dApps are. Think of all the dApps as companies, and they all have use cases and to figure something out. Request Network has to use identities, so it uses Civic for the dApp, and this is all part of the Ethereum blockchain platform. Again, another one that's, I think, over. I mean, it shouldn't be at the market cap it is. So I went ahead and sold this one off too. Now, why did I go with Icon? Well, Icon is a platform so other ICOs could be built on top of it. It's like the big dog of all of them, and they could use the funds. They could help out other ICOs, and NEO is doing that, and I believe in it, right? And I'm hoping Icon will become the next NEO where other ICOs will be able to develop on top of the blockchain platform. One thing that I just want to point out is that Civic is not needed. So the use case for Civic about identities could potentially be not needed with Icon because Icon already comes with it. So the blockchain platform has some additional capabilities pre-built in and doesn't require any other dApps to come into the space unless the use case is not there. So another dApp. So from here on out, I am going to believe that all cryptocurrencies are overvalued, and I am looking into owning ICOs. ICOs that are built upon NEO, Icon, and Ethereum. Maybe not as much on Ethereum, but definitely NEO. Look at the potential new ICOs that are coming into NEO and see if there is any competition in that space. And if there's no competition in that space and is a genuine use case for that ICO, I will buy into it. So now I have to, instead of, if I buy the coin sometime early in the ICO, much as it's overvalued, it's not going to be staggeringly overvalued. And I'll feel a better peace of mind. So let me go ahead and settle it. I've been ranting on for a while. Please subscribe, please thumbs up, and just know that this market is completely overvalued. And just make sure that you have safety precautions to get out of this space when you need to. Make sure you collect. I'm staying in it, but I want everyone else to know, hey, I believe it's overvalued. And if you do invest in something, please invest in something that you have done thorough research on. As I've been in the crypto market space for almost a month now, I'm still learning, and there's so much to learn. It's a whole new language, if you would say. So thanks again. All right.